Hi friends, Renee Keys here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with Christmas card making ideas for you. It may be Halloween here, but I'm still working on Christmas cards. Today I want to focus on the traditions of Christmas. And this is a really cool suite. In the mini catalog, the September to December catalog, it's on pages 22 and 23. If you buy the entire suite, there's 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, the embossing folder, the sequins, the ribbon, and then this paper. I'm going to show you the paper up close in just a minute. I've been focusing on these. I bought those. I bought the wreath embossing folder. I do have the sequins and I have the paper. So you can do it piecemeal if you really don't want all of it, but you can do so much with this set. These papers are absolutely stunning. So these are the 6 designs with a lot of poinsettias. There's gold foil. I'm going to work with this one today. It's really stunning. It even has Secret Sea in the background. And then when you flip them over, you have, contrasting prints and colors. This is a cute little green dotted stripe. Here's a blue, almost a check or a basket weave. So there's a lot that you can do with these papers in combinations, and that's what I'm going to work on today. I am going to use some of the label dies. So here's what's left. I've already pulled out 2 of them. So let me flip down to my work area here and show you what I'm working on. I have die cut 2 of the dies, and I've used this pretty elongated rectangle and then this cute little oval. And so I'm going to, whoop, that's upside down. I'm going to lay these out here because there's actually 9 different dies that come with this set. The paper that I'm using, as I said, this is a piece of that. I think it's just absolutely stunning. I love the plaid on the back too, and I started playing with that, but I hate to cover this up because it's so pretty. All right, so I'm actually going to do a gatefold today. So let's do a little fun fold. I have a 1/2 sheet of cardstock. So this is 8.5 by 11. And I'm now going to score this at 2 1/8 on both sides. It's a simple gatefold, but this is just absolutely one of my favorites. I've done diagonals, I've done quarters, I've just done all sorts of other things, but I think this one is pretty, I don't want to say basic, it's pretty standard. So this is going to go on the inside, and then this overlaps here, and this overlaps here, and there's my gatefold. Lovely. So I've already cut Secret Sea. I have 2 strips here. They are, so if this is 2 1/8, this is now 2 inches by 5 1/4. So I have 2 pieces that are going to go on here. So now I'm going to cut my designer paper to fit on that and frame it. So let me bring back in my trimmer. I know I need 5 inches total. Here we go. And see, I'm looking at, so should I cut it here or should I cut it here? Ooh, I'm thinking I'm going to go here. I want that great big, although that means I'm going to go this way. Not that it matters a whole lot, but I'm thinking because of where I'm going to put my sentiment, this is going to show more if I go this way. Okay, so that was my reasoning. You saw me do a quick flip. So now I've got, the card is 2 1/8. I've cut my Secret Sea just under 2. So I'm going to cut this just under the 2 3/4 so that I have a nice little frame. And the trick now is I do want to keep these in order. 2 1/4, because I will want it to look like they match up. So I want to make sure, just under 1 1/4. I said that wrong. 1 1/4. I'm just going to eyeball this. Yeah, looks like that's right where I put it. Okay, and I have a little strip, may or may not get used for something else. So let me show you what I'm going to lay out here, and then I'm going to do some stamping, and then we'll assemble. But this is how it will go together. Paper onto cardstock, and you can see how it does match up. the big flower. And then this is going to go in the middle. All right. So I'm just going to open this up and stamp the inside, so then I'll be done. So inside, I actually switched it up. I didn't want to put just a Merry Christmas, which is what I would have done. I could have done, you know, sending love and joy. I went and got the Peace on Earth from the Peace on Earth set. So I'm going to do two things. I am going to change my mind here and add a color. I was going to just stamp it all in red. But now, oh, there we go. There's my Secret C. I'm thinking to really make this pop, I'm going to use both red and Secret C on the inside. So the Peace on Earth is going to be inked in Secret C. Isn't that pretty? Let me get all this straightened up. Okay. And then I went to another older stamp set and pulled out this little, let's see it, this little berry. I just wanted a little something in here. I felt like green bough was going to be too much, so that's what I did. Now, the other thing that I did, again, I'm going to mix it up. I needed something small for my sentiment, so I have Joy to the World. And this is from, I kept this stamp set from a few years ago because it comes in handy for so many different things. This Joy to the World comes from the Itty Bitty Christmas. And I can't tell you how many times I turn to this when I want something small. The Thinking of You is marvelous. The If You Need a Season's Greetings. I like the Peace and Happiness. I really like the Christmas Cheer, and I love this sentiment too. So I resort back to this a lot because it's just so useful. I'll probably hold on to that forever. So here's my Joy to the World, and I'm just going to stamp that in red. And now I think I'm done stamping. I could have put a red sprig on there, but I really think I want the paper to be the showcase. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let me grab, I'm going to have two different adhesives today. So I have both my Stampin' Seal and my liquid glue. So let me dot this on. Wow, this is a new bottle. I've only used it a couple of times, but I need to make sure I have it open, which I do. I was going to say, when it comes out, it's going to be a big blob. So dot this on. We all have our occasional struggles with the liquid glue. And I'm going to flip this over. And just center it up. I can see where my score lines are. Just center it up right on there. Okay. Yep, that's what I wanted. So now I'm going to start assembling for the front. And like I said, I want to make sure that I have these in the right order, and I do. So first I'm going to just glue. Isn't that pretty? It's just so cute. But I really wanted those pretty, pretty, pretty poinsettias to be on the front of the card. Okay, so squeeze that over, slide it just a smidge on top there. And I'll make this one match. A little glue on the back. Enough to make sure I get it held down. Yeah, I think that's gonna get, I don't have much in the corner there. All right. So all the edges have my Secret C showing. And now that really makes that background pop by having that as the border. All right, so let me go ahead and adhere these onto the front. And I think because I've got, this is heavier now, I'm going to go back to using my seal. So Stampin' Seal to the rescue. A couple on the sides there. Here we go. So you can see how quickly this is going to go together. I mean, I did do the two die cuts and I ran those through at the same time. I did that just before I started the video to save some time, but it really is fast when you're letting the beautiful paper do the work. All right, and there's my big poinsettia on the bottom. And now these designs match up if anybody happens to look that close. So to assemble this, I'm going to put this in the middle, and I can see it has these pretty little swirls in it in the design, so I can very easily see how I want to center this. So the trick now is to make sure I only get adhesive on the one side. So I'm going to take my, there we go, Stampin' Seal, and go down one side and position this right in the middle, nice and vertical. And this is going to go across. So this, I'm just going to put some liquid glue in the middle here and adhere this right on. Now, could easily add a bow to this. I honestly felt like it was really pretty just the way it was, so I didn't want to do anything else. But like I said, you could add a bow. You could add some bling if you wanted to put a few sparkles or the sequins on there. That would be pretty. But quite honestly, I really like the way this came out. It's simple. It's pretty elegant. And then you open it up and it says Peace on Earth. Plenty of room to write a message on the inside. So this is a gatefold. It is considered a fun fold. But I had some fun using some of the pretty paper from the Traditions of Christmas, and then using the pretty dies because they all have interesting edges and die cuts. So if you like the products and the projects you've seen here, you can find me at Carolina Creative or hashtag Carolina Creative. I'm also on the Stampin' Up! Network. It's Renee Keese at StampinUp.net. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for the next video.